What a horrible weekend of football.
What a horrible weekend.
Do you know, sometimes when I find out we're only a 2-hour show, sometimes I'm like, oh, but I want that. Now I'm like, oh, can't it be an hour? Do we have to do the show today?
Do you know what, honestly? You don't have to go. We'll get to Arsenal in a bit.
Yeah.
But you don't have to go over the top with the United game. Because, listen, City in that form can do that to anybody. Right, first and foremost. Because it's you, and you, as much as you dish out, I'm absolutely delighted. And every time one of them goals went in, I thought about your face.
Yeah, I was even more happy when I learned Noel Gallagher was coming on the show today. By the way, today, as in the Monday, but yesterday's date, so the 2nd of October, 27 years to the day since What's the Story Morning Glory came out. 1995. How mad's that?
Wow, it's incredible.
That's flown by, isn't it? So we'll probably spend the whole of our time with Noel talking about that and what it meant for Britpop back then. And
how are you feeling?
Shut up.
How are you feeling?
Let me give you some Haaland stats. We're going to talk Man United.
How are you feeling?
Well, how am I feeling? The way I look at it, right, because you've got to look at positives, is they won the first half.
Yeah.
We won the second half.
I've heard that one before.
So it's basically 1-1, right?
That is like
if you did a league table on halves, we're level on points with City, aren't we? Because they won a half, we won a half, so we're top.
I remember getting beat
joint top
7-2 by Chelsea one year.
Yeah.
And we were 5-0 down at half time. 5-0.
So you drew the second half.
Steve Bruce came in and went, lads, we can't win the game. Just don't lose the second half. We got a 2-2 draw. So we took the positives from that. But when you look at the result, we got slapped. That's the same thing when you look at your lot.
We're going to talk Man City, that side of Manchester with Noel, right?
So good, man.
I just want to give you a couple of stats that make me go, oh my goodness. If Haaland's strike rate carries on by the end of the season in the league, he'll have 76 goals.
It's crazy.
Let me just say that again. If he continues to score at the rate he's scoring, in the league only, he'll have 76. That won't happen. But
I'm telling you now as well, he's got 14 in the league, right? He should have more. Because you look at the times early on, I think they were just figuring out how to play with him. There were a couple of times Foden should have squared the ball to him, and they chose to shoot. They chose the wrong option.
Not yesterday, but earlier on.
I'm talking about the very early parts.
I agree,
So he could have had another easily 4 or 5 goals on top of
that. At 22, he's got 170 goals. Ronaldo at the same age got 50, and Messi got 44. He's got 170.
I mean, listen, if he he's an unbelievable centre forward. But if he gets to their 2 level, because them two are talking about, look at their numbers throughout career. You talk about what's Ronaldo nearly 800 goals or past 800.
Yeah,
Messi's up near 700. That's just ridiculous.
It is
silly numbers.
We'll talk the blue side of Manchester with Noel in the second hour. We're going to start off talking Man United. 03717223334. I want to get your views on what Erik ten Hag said about Cristiano Ronaldo. He said out of respect for his big career, he didn't bring him on. What do you make of that?
In some respects, I kind of get it, because he's probably looking at it like Ronaldo, what he's accomplished in his career. He is one of the greatest we've ever seen. The team's getting battered. And yes, putting him on the pitch, he could potentially get you a couple of goals, because you know what he like. You give him opportunities, he can still finish them off. Mm-hmm. But maybe it's from Ten Hag's point of view, he's thinking, right, I just don't want to put Ronaldo up there and he's just chasing shadows. Because it's not disrespectful against Ronaldo, but I sort of get where he's coming from.
Do you?
With the words that he used, I get it.
You got a goal scorer on the bench.
I get it, but you're 4-0 down, you're not going to win the game.
Oh.
You're not.
What's the point of picking him in the first place?
Well, that's a different question.
No, but if you're picking Ronaldo on the bench, that means he's coming off the bench to get you goals.
Yeah, if the game's tight, like 1-1, 2-2, or it's in the balance, you throw him on because you know.
Why you bring him off the bench at 3-0?
4-5-0. The game's over. You're not going to win that game.
You think that was the right decision to leave
I'm not saying it's the right decision, but what I'm saying is I can understand some of Ten Hag's wording when he says he doesn't want Ronaldo, because basically what he's saying is, I don't want Ronaldo to go around and chase around like a donut. It's basically what he's alluding to. But you think when the game was, if he wasn't going to start him or bring him on, I get it. If the game's out, he's probably think, right, you know what, the game's over. I'm not going to put him in on that environment. But it just doesn't look great when you put on Martial, who did come on, by the way. It proved to be the right decision. Came on, scored 2 goals.
Yeah.
And Ronaldo's just sitting there. It's just like...
I thought it was strange. Casemiro not starting. Can you understand that? McTominay getting the nod?
I can... But, and again, a couple of things I question is that when Manchester United signed Anthony, now if I can remember rightly, he'd barely trained and he was straight in the team because Ten Hag was like, I know him, I want him, he goes straight in. I just question whether Casemiro was someone who Ten Hag truly wanted, because you're right, you look at Casemiro's resume and what he's done in the game, played at the highest level, one of the biggest of competitions, by the way, and he's still in the biggest game of Manchester United season so far, he doesn't go in. I just question whether Ten Hag... First of all, was he Ten Hag signing? And secondly, I get it with the legs that McTominay's got, can get about, puts himself about, has done well in this run that Manchester United have been on. But again, that was a question mark where when a lot of people were saying Casemiro, and I went, oh, Manchester United's biggest game of the season, he's not starting. Playing. That made me think, I wonder if Ten Hag does trust him or really wanted him.
Do you want to tell everyone the text you sent me about Anthony? Do you want to tell him?
What about he's not worth 80 million?
Yeah.
And then what happened whap.
I mean, no one's going to talk about that goal because of what happened in the game.
But he looked okay, didn't he? Before that, I wouldn't say he was great, but he did okay.
Yeah.
Great goal.
Should United fans be worried about what they saw yesterday? Or should you just think you're playing a team that's like head and shoulders above everything we've ever seen on the planet for a long, long time?
They are scary good, aren't they? That's the only way you can put it. They just keep the ball.
Because Foden got hat-trick, Haaland got. No one's even talking about Kevin De Bruyne.
No one's even talking about them two, really. Or Haaland, yeah, but Foden, he's absolutely brilliant. I mean, I said last week, and I hold my hands up, I said that he won't start for England. If I had to pick a three now, it'd be Saka, Kane, and Foden.
But you're not Southgate, and Southgate will pick Saka, Sterling.
He has to get him in the team.
I agree with you.
Even if you're not going to don't play him wide, play him in midfield.
He won't. He will not play him.
He has to. He
won't play him. He'll play Mount. He'll play Sterling. He'll play Saka. I'm telling you, he will. That's what he does.
Foden has to play. He has to play.
I totally agree.
You're talking about one of the best young players.
Possibly
not even young, by the way, because I know he's relatively young, but I think he could be one of the best players we've ever produced.
I totally agree with you.
He has to play.
I totally agree with you. Even his strike for, what was it, the
third goal.
Where
he just rushed it inside foot.
That's talent, just hitting the ball like that.
You know what you can see as well? You can quite clearly see that him and Haaland have got that connection now, because Haaland's given him two, didn't he? Yeah. First of all, the one he slid across the box, which was a great pass, and the little feed through someone's legs.
Look, we're talking about Man City.
They're brilliant.
I know they are. But
no, if you're a Manchester United fan or even a player, you're disappointed because it's a derby and you've lost to your local rivals. But you understand, from a fan perspective, that they are light years ahead of Manchester United. And what they've got there is a squad of players that everybody, knows exactly what they're supposed to do. They can be got up, by the way, though. They don't look...
We've seen they've been beyond twice, haven't they?
Exactly. They don't look like defensively like rock solid, but they've just got players up the top end of the pitch that can just hurt you like that.
talkSPORT Drive with Andy Goldstein. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.